Good morning, everyone on YouTube. This is Debbie Gruber from Lots of Knots Ceramics, and I'm located at the Ohio Station Outlets in unit number 185. And this is my friend Zeus. So what I'm doing today is I'm taking you forward from the last video, and I'm going to go in and give him some real eyeballs. So far I have the brown in there, and I think the brown is solid enough that I can go ahead and put the black pupils in. So that's where I'm going to start today. I didn't pour the paint because I just want to use a little bit, so I just opened up a little bit of Americana black paint, and I'm using what's in the lid. And I'm just going to give him round circles on his eyes. The easiest way to do this is start at the top of the eyeball, and I'm just going to make a circle, just a small circle. And then I can always make it bigger, but make sure it's round. And then when I come on the other side, I want to do the same thing. But I want to start at the top, because if you don't start at the top, then you get something a little scary. You know, as you do more and more eyeballs, then you can move the pupil around. But for teaching purposes, this is the easiest way for me to show you how to do the eyes. Because if you put the eye in the center of the eye, like if you look here at my eyes, if you put the eye in the center like you see here, this would be correct. But when you're doing ceramics or concrete, you have to create an illusion. So if you put the eyeball in the center of the eyeball, and this is kind of gross, and you guys are going to laugh at me, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is what you get. Are you ready? This. That's pretty scary. You don't want to have that on your piece because it doesn't look good. So that's why I take it to the top and do it that way, because that eliminates that problem altogether. And like I said, there are times when you don't want to put the eyeballs right here, but when that happens, I'll let you know. So I'm just going to clean my brush out, and I want to take out some white, because I want to give Zeus some teeth. And hopefully by the time I'm done with the teeth, I'll be able to put the little sparkle in the eye, because every eye has a sparkle, whether it is a fake eye, like a plastic dog eye or something, or a real eye. Every eye has a sparkle. And I remember when my kids were little, they'd be walking by and I'd say, stop, and they'd stop. And I'd have them tilt their head just exactly the way that my creation was that I was working on had its head, so I knew where to put sparkle. So feel free to grab people as they walk by. So here's his teeth, and I'm just going to give him some teeth right here. And I'm just going to do like a base coat, just so he has, you know, a teeth. So when people walk by, they can see the teeth. We'll come in here and do more with this down the road. I'm not so concerned about it today. Today I'm concerned about the eyes, because the eyes will make you or break you. There we go. I'm going to go on the other side now so you can see. He's got teeth showing on both sides. And then he's got like the lip around the teeth that I'm not going to deal with today. I'm just going to get this one, because I want to take you guys into the fun stuff. Because Zeus is, all his markings are pretty much in here now. He used to have markings on his feet, but he doesn't have those anymore, so I'm not going to put them on. Because I want it to look like my dog. I want to look over there and go, hey Zeus, what's happening? There. So that's good. Now let me see if the eyes are dry enough. I never wait for things to dry. I'm like the most impatient person ever. That's why when I'm working at the store, I'm working on 2 or 3 projects at a time, because I'm not a good waiter. So I'm going to take this and just put a little sparkle. It doesn't really matter what you do, as long as you do the same thing on both sides. He's got a little dot there, and he's got a little dot here. There. Pretty much the same spot, same size, and you're good. Okay? So that's his eyes for today. Now, I want to go into the body, because that's the part everybody's waiting for, is to see how I do all this shading. So I'm going to take some of this dark brown umber and put it into this on a plate. I have a plate this time instead of a bowl. And I'm just going to grab some of this water here and just put some water on here. Just regular old tap water. Okay, then when I'm coming in here, I want the water to go in there, because sometimes I want this paint to be more solid, sometimes I want it to be less solid. And I'm going to show you some of these folds in here. Like, this is not a marking on Zeus, but it is a fold, and it must be recognized, because if it was important enough for them to put it on the statue, then you need to emphasize it to the other people. So I'm going to grab some of this paint without any water in it, and I'm just going to come into the cracks, because the world was given a great gift. And it's the gift of the light. And you're going to hear this speech when you watch my videos over and over. And why is that? Because when you're in your house and you're painting at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm not going to be accessible. So this will help you to get what you want. You'll remember this in your head as you're painting. So I'm just going to put this in here. So God sends the gift of the light to the sun. The sun sends it down to the earth. And when you look at your piece, you have to decide, if I was a light, where would I hit? Now the light's going to hit really good on the top of him because there's absolutely nothing to block the sun from hitting the piece. So it's going to be a little lighter on the top of Zeus naturally. It has nothing to do with the color of the dog, it's just the way the light hits. So in this case, it's going to be dark in here because the light doesn't bend into the folds. So where there's a fold, it's going to be darker. Then I take some of this water and I let it come into my brush so that I still have dark burnt umber on my brush, but it's not quite as dark. And I kind of shade this in here like this. Oh, I'm shaky. There we go. So it looks more natural. You know, this looks painted. We never want it to look painted. We always want it to look shaded, natural. If it looks painted, then it looks fake. It doesn't look real. We want to keep it looking real. And sometimes remember I told you, I always look backwards. Look, I see a little spot here. I'm just going to hit them right here when I see them. Otherwise, when I come back, you know, will I find it again? Maybe, maybe not. So I just fix them as I go, okay? And then, the same thing in this area. I don't want this to be quite as dark in here because it's not as deep as a fold as you see here. So you have to kind of like decide. But see, look at that. It just makes it look shaded. Now, as it gets into the folds, I want it to be a little darker, so I'm going to take it in just a little bit more dark. You know, that's the beauty of it. You can add it or not as you go. I mean, I can take it away or I can add it in. So I always take the statue's darker colors first, and then I kind of bring it out with the light. But see, any place that there's a dent, I have to decide, you know, where I want to put this. And then sometimes I even see, I'm taking my finger, I'm always full of paint. Now you know why, because I put my hands on this piece all the time like this. And in here, I can see, I have to come this way. See, I'll make this match up in here and then bring it down long. But look, it just makes this dog come alive. Doesn't it make it come alive? I know you're thinking, yeah, I can't hear you though. There. There we go. Look how beautiful that is. And this comes up in this way, but I don't want it to be quite so dark. So I'm just going to lighten it up a little bit. And smear it. Look, I'm smearing it. So it looks more natural. Doesn't that look natural? I think it does. You know, and then the next time I come out here and look at it, I might want to change it just a little bit. And that's okay too. You're not done until you're done. Until you say, okay, I'm done. Otherwise, you can change anything anytime you want to. That's the beauty of acrylic paints. The absolute beauty. Because you can do whatever you want to. So I'm just going to keep going on this side because why not? And I can see some spots over here where I have to bring in the other color, but I'll get to that after. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? And this takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of time, but you know, you put the practice in and you got it. And if you do this and you don't like it, don't worry. You let it dry, take the phone, cover it back up and try again. You'll get it. I'm only a phone call away too, so if you're doing something and you need help, I have a smartphone. You can send pictures to my smartphone and I'll be happy to help you. That's what I do. That's my job. And I'm pretty good at it. There. Look how nice. Okay, now this is going to be a little deeper right here. And this has nothing to do with Zeus's colors at all. This is all because of the folds on his body and the way that the light is hitting it. See? This is the fun part, guys. It's crazy how I do this. It's just crazy. People laugh all the time. Wow, they say wow. But I want this to be a little deeper right here. I don't like that. This is a good fold right here. There. And this is just an indent. It's not really a fold. So I just want to move it like this. Just to show that there's a fold there. Doesn't that look like it's bending now? So instead of it being flat, it's now bending, which is exactly what you want. You're giving it depth, dimension. This is a nice good size fold right here. It's got to go all the way to there. Look, I missed it over there. There we go. And then I can't smear it too good, so I'm just going to put some water over there and just grab it. And don't worry, if I come down a little bit too far with this, because I'm trying to exaggerate so you can see what I'm doing. And if I decide that this is too much, I can take the phone and cover it right back up. It's not a big deal. I'll come back on it next time if I don't like it. But at least you can see what I'm talking about here. Sometimes you have to go with the grain too to get it in there, because there's some of these ridges that are, the hairs on the dog are pretty deep, so you have to kind of get in there with your paintbrush so it looks natural. Doesn't that look nice? And look, I missed this spot over here. I find spots all over the place. Look, I missed this whole spot right here. That's why I always look back or forward and just kind of watch it as I go. And if I see something that's missing paint, I just fix it. I know you're probably getting tired of hearing that, but that's the way it works. Okay, now this one. Okay, at this point, this is where I should stop today. And I hope that you kind of like what you saw here today. And if you do, please tell your friends about me. And if you subscribe to me, that really helps me a lot. So if you could subscribe and like what you see, and please, please, please tell all your friends so they can watch me too. And maybe I can teach them a thing or two. So for today, that's all. And I thank you all for...
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching our video today. Real quick before the up next video starts playing, do us a favor and smash the like and share buttons. If you want to see more of our content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you're notified when we post new content. If you want to start your own project or just order some supplies, check out our store at www.lokceramics.com. Hope to see you in the next video.